Maybe the weakest era for me was the Bangle era for me.
I disagree.
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 You've seen the photos.
Yes.
What stood out for you
Oh man.
in 100 words or less, Anton? Hello and welcome to the second episode of this season of the Top Gear Philippines Magazine podcast.
Yay.
And we've got this right here and this guy right here, that's Anton, because we're about to talk about my BMW trip.
Yeah, and it's your trip. You should be the one talking about it.
It was an interesting trip. We'll try to get to MG a little bit later, but I doubt we'll have time for that. That'll probably be the next episode. But so BMW Regional flew me out to Munich to witness the launch of the iX3, which is the Neue Klasse.
Neue Klasse.
Neue Klasse. Basically, Neue Klasse, for those who don't know, is the new design language and design direction for BMW.
Yes.
And the iX3 is the first production car that actually came out with all the new features that will be standard in all BMWs moving forward. And it's a lot. I think they promised 40 updates and new models by the year 2027. So in 2 years, we'll see 40 Neue Klasse vehicles from the i3 to the iX3 to across the entire range. And what shocked me was I didn't know. I thought it was EVs lang, yung Neue Klasse. Apparently, it's the entire lineup from plug-ins to their hybrids to their M cars.
Yeah. Their
So
ICEs.
the massive grill era is over.
It's over. Finally, it's back to small grills. I'll put a picture here, but not just small grills, but small vertical grills for the SUVs and small horizontal grills for the sedans.
They were kind of growing on me.
They were growing in a lot of ways.
There was a growth, definitely a growth.
I have to say, at night, the 7 Series with the big grill is glowing. Medyo may presence.
Medyo.
At night.
At night. So I'd like to get your opinions first because I've seen the car in person. You guys saw the photos and the video. What do you guys think of the new design?
I wish that was the X3. If I'm honest, the look of the Neue Klasse was. I wish they would apply it. At the rate things are going, they're probably gonna do a lot of emergency LCIs.
Yeah. 40 by 2 years. That's a
Yeah.
lot. Yeah.
And I think it suits the current bodies well because they look pretty monolithic, and apparently the new shape, the new front end fits both monolithic looking cars and curvy ones. Because if you put an X3 beside an iX3, iX3 is very soft and curvy and smooth
Wala nang belt line. If you looked at the side of the car,
Yeah,
there's
it's just-
no belt line.
like that. Tapos you look at the X3, which is very blocky and square. I'm trying to imagine a Neue Klasse front on it, and parang bagay pa rin eh. So this is definitely a step in the right direction.
Well, the X3 is basically the ICE version of the iX3.
Yeah.
So pretty sure the iX3's design will literally be the same for the X3.
Yeah.
Ikaw, Deans, you saw it na.
Yeah, the photos you sent,
Yeah.
the content you posted, I'm still processing. I guess I should say I'm a BMW fan ever since, and maybe the weakest era for me was the Bangle era for me.
I disagree.
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 I like the Bangle era.
Doon ako nahinaan. Too curvy. Just when the massive grills were growing on me, parang they had presence eh. Not beauty, not elegance, presence. And you buy those cars for presence. So I'm gonna wait till I see one. I'll wait until I see one in the
They did announce that the Philippines will probably get it around end of 2026, likely 2027 for the first Neue Klasse coming in. So that's the iX3.
Tagal.
Medyo matagal, yeah. But they are doing the world premiere of the i3 early next year.
Tagal.
That's the important one. Because if it can translate also to a sedan, the 3 Series for us is really bread and butter.
Yeah.
But not for sales, apparently. That's why the iX3 was the one they chose to launch with, because that's their best one, their best selling
Yeah,
models.
the X3 is now the best selling BMW in the world. It's no longer the 3 Series.
Which is sad for me.
Yeah.
It's a bit sad. I've always...
Touring pa rin.
Diba? But in fairness, in the videos, I just make the car look small. But it actually is small. Like the roof line is quite low.
Yeah.
And it's sleek. It kind of looks like a wagon na raised ng konti. I think they've done quite well, especially compared to other German brands who went bigger.
Yeah.
They did quite well with the smaller grille and everything. But what do you guys think of the interior? Because I saw the panoramic iDrive.
Yeah, you're the one.
and I have feelings.
Yeah. Man, I'm not too sure with the removal of the iDrive knob.
Yeah, that was my problem.
There
with
was
it also.
one. The other would be the panoramic screen that's just below the windshield cowl.
Yeah, that's the panoramic iDrive part.
Yeah. I'm not too sure about it because kind of reminds me of a Civic FD that had the speedometer right up by the base of the windshield.
Yes, but the FD didn't have a HUD.
Well, it was 2006.
Yeah, so what they were telling us, the UI UX designer, Stefan Durak, the UI UX designer, actually explained to us that there's 3 tiers to the screens now. So you have your big screen in the middle, which is canted toward the driver. It's
Typical
very
BMW.
responsive,
Yeah.
very good. And then you have the panoramic iDrive, which is like floating numbers. It's kind of hard to explain, but if you remember Optitron gauges from before, where it looked like the numbers were just floating.
Optitron Lexus.
Yeah, it's like that.
And some Toyotas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the numbers are floating inside the cowl. It's quite a good effect. And then you have the HUD. So it depends though on what exactly you need, the info you need, whether it'll be in the screen or as it gets more prioritized, it'll move up to the cowl and then moves up to the heads-up display once it's more important.
But you know what also works? An instrument cluster.
Yes, that's true. That's true. But I don't know. I guess on one side, it's easier to make it a right-hand drive, left-hand drive if you don't have an instrument cluster.
Okay.
That's one. But also, it's a very modern interior. I found it it felt new. And not in the new LCI kind of way, because I didn't like the LCI upgrade.
Yeah, with a screen tacked on the dashboard.
Yeah, and then no more buttons.
Yeah.
This one actually felt like a concept car, actually. When you're inside, the speed, it's like an iPad na. Everything's just fast. You can like throw stuff up into you can customize kasi completely the panoramic iDrive and you can just toss stuff in. It was quite nice, actually.
Okay, maybe I'm just reacting like this because if you remember when iDrive first came out, circa 2001, there was a lot of violent reaction about that too.
Yes, until it became the most loved interface.
Yeah, because everyone else couldn't figure it out.
Yeah.
So for me, maybe give it some time. My first interaction with the original iDrive, which was many, many years ago.
20 years ago.
More than.
Was
Kasi
it E65?
E65 first had it, 2001.
Bangle Times
Yeah.
had it.
Parang at first, it's like, I don't know, maybe because at the time, everyone made it sound like it was such a complex and complicated thing.
It was for the time, because before it was simpler.
Yeah.
You didn't have phones.
And they simplified it. The first iDrive was 8-way, di ba? Parang
8-way
it could go, ano pa eh,
with no
diagonal
home
eh.
button. That was the problem of that.
Yeah, you had to go back by
Yeah.
shift. And
And then they sorted it out by around 2007.
by the E60,
Yeah.
they sorted it out.
So maybe, like down the line, we'll probably call it the best infotainment in the world. But
But now it's gone.
yeah,
Completely gone. At least they still give us our shift button down there.
yeah.
But I don't know. It's one of those things I was saying now. Maybe you'll get used to it if you're an owner. Honestly, don't really know. But there are some other stuff with the Neue Klasse that actually makes it such a special car. And I think the advances, because my mom has an old iX3,
Yeah.
350 kilometers on a good day.
Yeah.
Not so much power. This one changes everything. It's a 805 kilometer range iX3 with 400 kilowatt charging, which means you can. I had this in my article. I think if you plug it in to a 400 kilowatt charger, go to the bathroom, come back within 3 minutes, you have 100 kilometers, which changes everything for
Yeah.
EVs. You were asking a while ago for solid state batteries. Do you need it if you can charge your battery this fast?
They are developing solid state batteries. If they can do this with current battery tech, what more down the line?
Yeah, but 805 is a lot.
Yeah.
Like we were talking about range, and that's quite a lot of range.
Yeah.
And the speed of charging is it's good. Like 10-minute charge does 370 kilometers, which is basically for 10 minutes you get the old iX3's range.
Yeah. Wow. Okay.
Diba? Ikaw, Deans, what do you think?
About range?
About the EV side of it? Because it's quite. I have to be honest. Like I think I mentioned it also. Like other brands can do this also. Like the Hyundai's fast charge at almost the same speed, but for BMW to achieve it, one generation from the current crop of
Yeah, it's a huge
i-Series,
leap.
It's
big.
Will those chargers be available here?
Ayala has them.
Diba?
Yeah.
It's it goes against it bumps up against the current dilemma now. We're not that ready for EVs yet. So
Or not? No.
home charging pa din. It's diba, like your mom. And you can't install that charger in your home. I mean,
No.
no one will spend that much. So I think it's great that it's there. So it still gives the iX3 added flexibility. If you're gonna go out of town, or if you need a quick fast charge, you can go somewhere, pay for it, and get a big top up. At least it's there.
I think what they should do is RSA should open up 400 kilowatt chargers in all the dealerships. So if you're going north, you can stop by Pampanga, get a full charge in 30 minutes. And
Not
then
a
go out.
bad idea. No. Which only Green Hills has a charger, right?
No, Pampanga also has a charger now.
Yeah. So if they can just install 400 kilowatt chargers, that's pretty good.
Pwede, yeah. Install them outside.
They are yung sa ano, they're installed outside sa Pampanga. Yeah.
So that's the iX3. We weren't able to drive it. So they have this thing called the Heart of Joy, which is basically their ECU that controls everything. The only thing interesting from that is they were saying that this is the first time for a BMW that the brakes do almost nothing. Because 98% of the braking, unless it's talagang really emergency braking, is done by the motor. So their sales point there is you never have to change your brake pads for the life of the car.
Theoretically.
But that's what they said about transmission fluid, but that's a different story.
Oh, God.
Basically, 10 years is the lifetime of their brake pads. They do all the braking through the electric motors now.
It doesn't put undue stress on the motors naman kasi
Traction motor.
Traction motor.
brake pads are cheaper to replace than motors.
Yeah, but with the motor kasi, we're talking brushless motors. They don't really have maintenance. They just have to like absorb the power and recharge.
Yeah.
Diba?
Actually, that's a bigger issue no, with all electric cars. How reliable are their motors? Diba? Parang
Should be because they're sealed. And I think some Chinese brands even IP rate their motors. IP68, IP67. Yeah. So should be reliable. Definitely more than an engine.
that's true.
Diba? Gasoline
Yeah.
explosions in a little thing.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I can't wait to see what the iX3 would be like, especially on our roads. It seemed so high tech when we were there, but syempre, like once it comes here, we don't know if it's gonna be the same feeling when you don't have a place to charge at 400 kilowatts and everything, diba? But they also brought us around and showed us some stuff for BMW because it was IAA Mobility also.
Yeah.
And Munich is home of BMW. So they brought us to the Welt, which is their giant showroom. And they brought us to Wheels and Weisswurscht.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is basically their cars and coffee.
It's literally translated Wheels and White Sausage.
Yeah, but it was so fun because like you can actually see all the enthusiasts came out, and we had an article about it and had a short reel that we posted. But the cars were so nice. You've seen the photos.
Yes.
What stood out for you
Oh, man.
in 100 words or less, Anton?
Honestly, it wasn't just the BMW's sake. There were a couple of interesting cars that nahagip. Like there was an Auto Union there. There were a couple of Japanese cars there, which is very interesting to see.
They had a 240Z drive through.
And what I found amusing about your coverage of that event was the Germans are aware that they are the home of the automobile. That's why, yes, it's a BMW hosted event, but everyone is welcome. And that was like, that's something I'd like to see here. Like, it's more of a celebration. Like, yes, yun nga, main manufacturer, but hey, we're all in this together and stuff.
There were some Porsches, there were some Mercedes, a really nice Cabrio
Yeah,
Mercedes.
a 108 Cabrio. Yeah.
These are mostly stock, no?
Almost all. And if it's upgraded, it's an Alpina. So
Yeah, that's their idea of tuning. It's like, no, let the factory do that.
yeah, it was a nice selection.
Why are the Germans so cool, no? Ang dami mga baduy builders.
The M316Is of the world.
Yeah, like my favorite car for me from the ones I showed you was the 520.
I was actually surprised the E12 was your favorite.
It was my favorite. It was so clean. I love the M6. The M6 looked
E24,
amazing,
yeah.
but the E20 just looked purposeful.
E12, yeah.
E12, sorry. The E12 looks purposeful.
I saw a BMW spec I didn't know I liked in the UK. 640D.
Oh yeah, those existed.
It's a
straight
6 series coupe,
With this
Diesel.
Yeah.
May ganun to. And I'm like, I want it.
You know what? There was a convertible version of that too.
I like the new 6 Series.
I'm just disappointed there were no X6s or X4s.
Oh.
Did not see a single one.
There's a reason for that.
Is there gonna be an iX4?
I'm sure. It's part of it.
Ah, kasi ako yung even number X yung gusto ko eh.
Yeah.
The even X's. I don't like the odd X's.
But no, but like the that was Wheels and Weisswurscht outside. But BMW Group Classic, which hosted the event, was actually an interesting thing also. Because I was talking to Anton a while ago. The facility they had there was BMW's original factory. And when I say original, they weren't making cars or bikes, they were making aircraft engines.
Oh.
And then after World War One, they had to, because of the Treaty of Versailles, they couldn't build aircraft engines
Yeah.
anymore. No German company could, so they had to sell the plant to I think a brake manufacturer. And it stayed in that brake manufacturer until 2014 when BMW AG decided, hey, we need to get our first plant back.
Yeah.
So they bought it, and now it's a workshop / museum for all the storage area, basically, for all their cars, which are all in running condition. It's nice.
I want to borrow an old E39 there.
I want to borrow anything, actually. It's like looking around. There's so many interesting cars.
Yeah, I'm jealous if you saw Johnny Cecotto's E36, the touring car, and then you saw Ralph Schumacher's Williams.
The Walrus.
Yeah,
I saw this one
in person,
in person.
18 times bigger than this one.
In my event that I will talk about in a few minutes, there is a booth that sells brochures from the 30s, 40s. Tapos parang, for my content, I'm at the MG section, pull out MG brochures, and then BMW section. Tapos, E36 manual. In pristine conditions, like mga 15 pounds. I'm like,
That's not so bad.
should I get the 6-page or the 8-page manual?
8-page manual?
Brochure. Tapos, may M5 from the...
Oh no!
But the bus is leaving. Parang, I never realized I wanted old brochures, no? I mean,
Well, there's. Oh my goodness.
and then, parang, Carl Magsusi said, nagmahal sila. Dapat tinago ko rin pala dati, yung mga brochures. Ang mahal lang. Parang, wala lang. Parang, ang galing, no? We don't have that here, eh. Where do you...
There's
There's scans. See,
there's scan. There's a
No, but if you want to hold on to old brochures here, there's no store or...
You know who had a collection? Like a almost complete collection of the late 80s, early 90s.
brochures.
Off.
Oh, shit.
Well, time to rate his.
No. Ondoy. All of it.
Goddamn politicians.
So, if you guys want to see more of Carlos' coverage of BMW and Munich, head on to the website. We'll put the link in the description below.
So that's about all the time we have for today for my trip. For the next episode, we'll be discussing Dinzo's trip.
Oh yeah.
Binabog, busin natin yung oras eh.
It's BMW and Anton. But so thanks guys for joining us for this episode of the Top Gears Philippines Magazine podcast.
Yeah.
And please join us next week, and we'll be talking about Dinzo's trip to Goodwood. And I think that one, again, Ingit si Anton.
It really is good wood for car guys.
See you.